Hello, everybody, and welcome to Shonen and Chill, hosted by Zenrotto and Oceaniz.
Hello, hello.
And so today has been an interesting week for Shonen Jump. We got Jujutsu Kaisen back after a 1 week hiatus. We're definitely losing some people very soon in the next few issues.
Fucking hate it.
Yeah, it's man. This is we'll talk about it when we get there.
Yeah.
Just some general Shonen and Chill updates. The prizes for last week should start going out sometime this week. So keep your eyes peeled if you won on your DMs, and I'll be telling you exactly when they are scheduled to arrive. And then this is going to be our last week before we do the first reader segment. So next week, whoever won last week's poll is going to be the book that we read for our Patreon readers segment. And you know what? I'm going to look and see what that is right now because I don't actually know who won the poll yet.
Oh god, it's either gonna be Black Clover or Boruto.
Neither one were in the poll.
Oh,
They were
okay.
merciful on us, at least on the first
Okay.
one
All right.
of what it could be. So let me jump into our page here.
I
I think
can't
it's
wait
probably
when
going to
we
be Dan. It's not. It's a whole bunch of ties.
Oh, okay.
There were 9 votes out of 11 patrons, so 2 of you haven't voted yet, so you should.
Uh,
So it's a tie between Silver Spoon, Seraph of the End, Blue Box, and Tepu. Dan actually got the fewest votes.
I guess us shit talking it did help. People didn't want to hear more of that. I can't wait for the day when we get overwhelmingly voted to read like some absolutely degenerate shit, and we
Just
both
some
just
blatant like Dojin.
oh yeah. It's like 11 votes unanimously for emergence. And we're just like, oh no.
Oh no. Oh.
Oh, I mean, but yeah, yikes. Is that the administrative stuff then?
I believe so. I believe that's all the updates that we need. So if you haven't voted in that Patreon poll yet, maybe I should make the voting public, and only patrons can nominate because a
Yeah, maybe.
5-way tie for first place is a bit of a problem.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe we should discuss that.
Yeah, we'll
But I
we'll
think that's
plan
a good
that better
idea.
next time. All right.
Yeah.
So what
Yeah,
is
on
your
my
top
end,
3? Oh, you have updates. Oh, I'm sorry.
well, I don't have an update. On my end, I want to say this week we had a My Hero Academia cover, which looks very good. I ordered it immediately. Um, but I'm so fucking mad that it has like this giant me and Roboco sticker in the corner. Because in, you know, usually in Shonen Jump, the way it works, when something gets a the cover, it also gets a lead color page, which is the first double color spread in the magazine. And it's a humongously rare occasion when something gets a cover but not the lead color page. And of course, my hero got the cover this week, but the lead color page went to fucking Roboco. I'm so fucking mad, dude, because I'm
It's a
putting
really
that on
good cover,
display.
though. Yeah, that cover's
Yeah,
great.
it's definitely one of my favorites. When we first heard that my hero was gonna have a cover, I was like, oh yeah, I hope Shiggy's on it. And then a couple of people tweeted at me saying, no, it's gonna be Deku with his hand out. And we were both right. Because Hori only knows how to draw one cover.
But it's Deku and Shiggy with their hands out, so
Exactly.
that's good.
But it's really funny because honestly, I think My Hero's had what, a total of 10 or so covers now in its life cycle, and at least 5 of those are just Deku holding his hand towards the reader. It's so
I
fucking
wonder how
funny.
many of these like covers they're actually excited to do, and
Mhm.
how often they're just like, oh Jesus, again? All right, let me just fucking crank that out real fast.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like at the level of quality that these covers need to be, I don't know if you can really crank them out that fast. But I mean, you never know. I think Hori even did a cover during his infamous big difficulty time during joint training, and there he definitely was struggling and probably would have preferred not doing one. But
Yeah,
you
like
know,
I can't help but think back to that time that Akutami had to do like an advertisement color spread and the cover and a color spread in the magazine all in the same week.
yeah.
And that was the same week he turned in the draft pages.
Well, I guess we know also why he turned in the draft pages
Yeah.
in that case, because yeah, that's a lot of load. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to vent about the fact that I'm putting this beautiful cover on display here in my personal collection, and in a weird way, I'll be immortalizing fucking Roboco in my room.
The three Roboco fans have finally won.
I cannot believe this. I can't believe, dude. Also, this is like more of a small thing, but I put out a video this week where I briefly talk about Yami from Black Clover, and the first fucking comment I got was one smart saying, "So good, so glad you caught up to Black Clover King."
Oh god, have you actually, or did you just like?
No,
I didn't
of
think
course
so.
not.
I didn't think
Of,
so. I was
of
worried for
course
a minute.
not. But okay, enough flirting. We have manga to talk about.
All right, that's the
Uh,
real meat, the real meat and
yeah,
balls of Shonen and Chill, as it were.
a real cock and balls. Well, as I said, I have a theory as to who the cock and the balls of the Shonen Jump are.
All right. Your top
Uh,
three. What do you got?
all right, my number three is Mashle, and then we have a Power Gap, and then we have number two is Jujutsu Kaisen, and number one is My Hero Academia.
Okay.
What about you?
Okay. I got my number three as My Hero Academia, my number two as Dr. Stone, and my number one as Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah, honestly, you could have stopped at the two
I
there,
know, I know, I
realistically.
know, I know.
Like, you will know I'm sick if I ever catch up to Black Clover. I will know you're sick if that number one is followed by anything other than Jujutsu.
It was last week.
Oh yeah, what was it last week?
It was
I-
Dr. Stone or My Hero, I think.
Oh, right. Oh well, c'est la vie.
Because Jujutsu
Um,
Kaisen wasn't in the magazine. Anyway.
oh, motherfucker. I forgot. He's using my old decrepit brain against me. Can't believe
Oh
this
my god.
shit.
All right. So first up, on the regulars, we should have Choujin X.
Which was okay.
It was fine. Yeah, I
Yeah.
kind of like this guy, the little like baseball liar. He's pretty
hmm
fun.
Yeah, like
It's
it
nice
was
to have
very
a
much
little
sort
bit
of.
that's not quite so doom and gloom.
hmm Yeah, it was mostly pretty goofy. Just him kind of lying his way through it. Like the panel on page 5, where the girl asks him, "So your investigation does it pay?" His fucking face on there.
Yeah, I also like his face when he's like, "Yeah, I'm in Class A" on the previous page, and he's like trying to look as cool as he possibly can, and
hmm
it just doesn't come off right at all.
Yeah, no, I like this guy for sure. Choujin X is shaping up to have a pretty decent cast now. It's
Yeah,
also
I'm
crazy that it's.
assuming that he's gonna join the group when they help him out of whatever pickle that he's in right now.
I mean, that's true. It is a Suishida manga. It can kind of go anywhere.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy to me to think that this is only chapter 10. For some reason, I feel like we've been in this series for a lot longer.
Yeah, that's true. It is only chapter 10. So much has happened.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when the first 5 chapters are 70 pages, I guess.
Well, that's true. You
That,
get a lot of real estate taken care of at that point, but
that's true.
I still really like Choujin X. It's a really interesting world and like universe. I loved the
hmm
flashback of like his powers coming out and making the sinkhole in like the baseball field.
Yeah.
Very cool. And the panel where it
Yeah.
starts happening. Uh,
Yeah, it's super cool.
yeah.
Also, a fun little fact. Through the Japanese version of the cover of this chapter, we actually got info on what year Shoujin X is taking place in. You want to venture a guess?
2015.
No, 2048.
Oh.
Yeah, it is in the far future. It's in the future because the opening page for the magazine version of Shoujin X says that 50 years ago in 1998, Shoujin powers began appearing. So, you know, that would put us at 2048 if my math isn't completely failing me, right? Right?
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
Hmm. Yeah. Um, which, knowing Ishida, that number has some sort of meaning, but we're way too early to try and guess that. He's really good at hiding meaning in really weird places. In Tokyo Ghoul, certain words being spelt differently ended up foreshadowing a like massive twists and shit like that. And numerology played a huge role. So I'm assuming that the year and like the distance of time between Shoujin powers emerging and the now is gonna have some sort of relevance. But again, I mean, we are only 10 chapters in, so I guess
Yeah,
it
it's a
would
little
be
hard
kind
to
of
tell,
nonsense.
but
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. But that is very
But
interesting. I did not realize that.
yeah, also yeah, with this week's Shoujin X has officially started. It's magazine like printed release as well.
Oh, that's right. I forgot they were doing that.
Yep. So if you wanna buy Shoujin X in physical form through the like actual magazines, you can do that through sites like Amazon JP or CD Japan. Hashtag not sponsored. I
Just
think
really like
that's
Choujin X, not sponsored.
yeah, not sponsored. Just think it's neat. Well, I realize now, especially when I talk about stuff like that, sort of in videos, I need to actually clarify that I'm not sponsored because it could come across as wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, See Japan especially is a cool website. It's the ones that I use to get uh, Shonen Jump issues. The only problem with them is, like many of these sort of import sites, they don't do restocks. So
Ah.
like, yeah, once an issue is gone, it's gone. There's no reprints.
Oof.
Uh,
That's
yeah.
tough.
Yeah, like if you are a collector trying to get into it now, you're gonna have to go secondhand for pretty much everything. And considering the paper quality of Japanese magazines, good luck.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, that's gonna be a nightmare.
Oof, yeah. Um, but yeah, I mean, we've already veered off. Do we have anything else on Shoujin X?
No, I don't think so. It's just a nice little chapter. So it's nice that Choujin X is kind of slowed down a little bit because it was really going full throttle, and now you can
Mm-hmm.
just kind of like relax,
Yeah,
enjoy
just
some
chill.
silly times with this cast, because this cast is good
Mm-hmm.
even when they're not doing dramatic craziness, you know.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they haven't used their powers in like two or so chapters, and it's
Mm-hmm.
still perfectly fine. So
Yep.
yeah,
Just hanging out, having a good time, Chojin
hmm
style.
having a good time out of 10.
Having a good time out of 10. All right, let's see. Next up on the list is going to be uh, Red Hood.
Which is the opposite of having a good time
Having
right
the
now.
worst time.
Jesus. Uh,
Yeah, they really this is getting canceled 150 million%.
yeah.
Holy shit. Like,
They. Okay, so to the people who haven't read it, um, so you can sort of follow along our exasperation with this. Up until now, we were in an entrance exam arc, section where think Chunin, not even Chunin exams, the Bell exam in Naruto.
yeah, it's literally
They,
not even far enough along to be the Shonen exams yet.
Yeah, they hadn't even reached the guild yet. In this chapter, they reached the guild. They exposit lore about how there is this magical book that pretells fate. They reveal the eldritch nature of werewolves. They reveal that the mayor has apparently stolen a page of that book. And he reveals himself to be this big mastermind to Velu and then takes him through a portal through the headquarters where that magical book is stored, presumably to do some crazy shit. That's one chapter. That's 19 pages.
They
We go
also
from
reveal that Grimm has been like memory manipulated by somebody, and like there's some sort of plot from the outside, and the big werewolf is apparently dead.
or uh or he's also memory manipulating. I didn't think he was dead.
Well, she reads that note, and then she starts crying after she read the note. So that was why I got the assumption that something bad had happened to him.
Oh,
But I don't
maybe.
know, maybe not.
But yeah, no, he got that he got that letter slipped under his door saying you're out in 12 weeks. Wrap it up.
Yeah, get your shit together
Like
immediately.
yeah. make space for Piss 7.
Yeah, the highly anticipated sequel to Piss 6. They have another sibling. Oh man, yeah, this shit's done. Dunzo for sure. There's no
Yeah.
way. There's no way this was what he wanted to do.
So it's such a shame because the whole thing with memory manipulation in the book, it's like a cool concept. I would dig it if it were sort of, you know, not done like this.
Not done with a desperate need to rush to the ending.
Yeah, because like when in the page where the big werewolf disappears, and the little witch is like, wait, who's Lycion? I thought, that made me do a double take, and I was like, huh, maybe some interesting like eldritch shit is happening here. Like what the fuck? Um, but yeah, wow, holy shit, this is terrible.
Yeah, I thought Candy Flurry was abrupt. This might actually be even more abrupt than Candy Flurry was.
Yeah, like
It's if
Jesus.
it's not, it's close. I mean, this is literally like last week we were like, "Yay, we're gonna be hunters," and then this week it's like, "Oh my god, the final boss has carried me through a magical portal where I'm going to stop him from fucking with this book."
Jesus, yeah. The
So
worst.
sorry, Red Hood fans. I wager you've got five to
What?
10 chapters left in you.
I wouldn't even say that much. If they're starting like this, I don't think it's gonna make I honestly don't think it's gonna make November.
You don't think you think it'll be done before 20? It's at 15 right now.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's not reaching 20. No
Oh
way.
man, they're gonna cut its ass off at 17. Oof.
Yeah, because usually when they start doing shit like this, that means we're about 3 or 4 chapters.
That's true. I think Candy Flurry was at like 2 or 3 after it started happening.
Yeah. Um, you know what the worst part about it is? The author for this made a social media account specifically for like Red Hood last week.
Ouch.
Yeah, which makes me believe maybe he didn't get the notice. Maybe this is just what he's trying to tell. But in that case, what the hell? Like, why? Because this chapter must have been drawn like 2 or 3 weeks ago, so he must have already gotten the notice by the time he made his Twitter account. So, yeah, I have like no clue what what's happening here, but I don't like it. I think it's weird and disorienting and kind of dumb.
Yeah.
So,
So sorry if we're wrong about this, but boy, this feels not good.
yeah, yeah,
So
this is just not very good. So, do we just move on? Salute the fallen out of 10.
yeah, yeah. Funeral, whatever that song is called, out of 10. The funeral march or something. I don't know,
Yeah.
but
That's Il Silenzio.
sure.
Uneducated Americans.
Hey, you were supposed to teach me things and then you didn't. All right.
Yeah,
Next on the list is the Elusive Samurai.
which was pretty cool.
I liked it. Yeah. One of my favorite gags of the week is when she beats that guy and she's like, "All right, time to rip his head off."
Yeah. And he's like, no, what the
He's like,
fuck?
"No,
No.
God, don't do that." And then
Like,
he goes, "You can behead him later." And she's like, "Okay," just leaves.
uh, also, one thing that I like was weirdly endearing to me was I guy being like, I'm not gonna kill him. Like he might be my enemy, but he's incredibly genuine and really honest. And something about that makes me want to keep him alive. I thought that, that's pretty cool for a
Yeah,
villain.
where he was like, it would be too bad
Unrefined.
of me. Yeah, it would be too evil of me if he ended up not being a Hojo to kill him.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that. He's not just some one-dimensional goon.
Yeah, well,
Um,
he's still technically, he's like our stage 1 boss right now.
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't mind if he and Ear Guy stay up to the very end. Like, they're so funny.
They are so fun. I really like them. They're some of my favorite like early manga bad guys.
Well, I mean, now we're what, a chapter 36. I don't know if they still count as early at this point.
That's fair.
Although I suppose 36 is not that late
Well, I
either,
guess it
so
depends on how long this is gonna run, because I can't like they haven't actually even taken a territory back yet.
that's also true. I will say the joke where she's like, "I'll bear lots of your children," that was a bit weird.
It was a little weird, but his response to it was sufficiently like, "Oh my God, stop!" that I'm
Yeah.
okay with it. Like it would be one thing if he was like also blushy, like, "Oh my God, are we in love?" But his response was to like spit and then go, "You have absolutely no idea what the fuck you're saying to me right now, do you?"
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I guess one could still see it as weird, but I will choose not to.
Yeah, I'm willing to, because the series did not lean into it, and the guy didn't react with like, "Oh my God, this is a budding romance starting," and his response was, "I don't think you know what that means. We're 9. I'm willing to let it pass,
Well,
unchallenged."
we'll say though the whole bit about her long limbs and placid expression are alluring. She'd be very popular in a more peaceful time. Do you see her as like a scantily dressed pop singer? That one is a bit like too
Yeah,
much, I would
well, part of
say.
the problem is that she's supposed to be 9, but she's as tall as an adult man. So
That's also true.
I don't know how to parse this. It's very
Yeah.
strange. Like I could have sworn that the retainers were both 16 or 17, both her and
Mm.
the guy. And it's like, nope, they're 9 also. And it's double weird when the main character is also 9 and he's like a quarter of their height. Like
Yeah,
she's
he's
got
like an
him up
actual
on,
child.
yeah, she's got him up on her shoulder.
Yeah, you're right, but oh well. As I
It's
said.
just weird presentation. It's the same kind of presentation as like, oh yeah, Trish is 15. And you're like, what? Trish and Jorno are 15? No, they're fucking not.
Well, no, it's the same as saying Narancia is older than Fugo.
Oh my God, is he really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I didn't know
Naran
that. I didn't know that.
Fugo is 16, Narancia is 17.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Narancia is the what? He's the well, he's not one of the oldest, but he's older than Giorno and he's older than Fugo and older than Trish. And then you have Narancia at 17, Mista at 19, uh Bucciarati at 22 and Abacchio at 23, I think. Or maybe Bucciarati's only 20, I don't remember.
Bucciarati,
Something
I
like
think,
that.
is 20.
Yeah. Which also doesn't really he doesn't really look it. But hey, what can we say? Uh what we should say is Elusive Samurai was fun.
It was very fun this week, yes.
Yeah, fun
Fun
out of 10.
samurai shenanigans out of 10.
Yes. What's next, Magic Man?
Next up on the list is going to be Witch Watch.
What did you think of this chapter?
It wasn't as bad as the last time we had an entire chapter about the manga teacher, and I really
Uh-huh.
liked the very last panel that was just the main cast. Like, hey, we should be in here somewhere. That was
Yeah.
pretty funny. But ultimately, boy, this really felt like violent filler. I did like the one panel of her dressed like Neo in the Matrix dodging the bullets, and it's like a giant shit wall of text.
Uh-huh.
I thought that was pretty funny. Um, but the rest of it, whatever. I don't care. I don't care about this
Yeah.
character.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna be real, I kind of got just skimmed through it. I wasn't
Yeah,
feeling
I
it
mean,
at all.
I don't find her cute or endearing or anything. She's just kind of annoying. Like,
Yeah. I will say this did have one of my favorite gags from Witch Watch though, which is when she gets to see the page of the manuscript and she's like, "It's all so," and you turn the page, average.
oh yeah, where she's like fawning over it, and then the very next
Yeah.
page is like a super detailed picture of her being disappointed.
That-
Yeah,
That's a reaction image sequence right
it
there.
is. That's pretty good.
But yeah, aside from that, honestly, my favorite part of the chapter was the final panel of the
Yeah,
guys
of the
complaining that
main
they didn't
cast
have screen
complaining they
time.
didn't get any page time. Yeah, it was pretty much nothing out of 10 this week. It was just
Yeah, nothing out of
very
10.
much felt like it had nothing going on.
Yeah. Do we just move on?
Yeah.
All right.
Bye.
Uh, oh yeah.
Uh,
Also, I think we should mention we have both dropped Piss 6.
yeah, we're not gonna read Piss 6 anymore. Sorry, piano fans. No more Piss 6 for us.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's our
Uh,
second Shonen and Chill cancellation.
yeah, and I really must say, if you're hoping that we pick it back up, I'm sorry, it will never be back on the show.
All right, we're moving on. Uh,
My
uh,
brain was like working overtime trying to come up with that
I
garbage.
heard the gears turning as you were trying to get that out.
Dude, it's Sunday evening. If I think any harder for my jokes, I'll set off the smoke alarm.
Yeah, I literally heard the creaking of those rusty gears trying to spit that joke out.
Okay, look, any joke is funnier if you can literally sense the other person, like almost failing to think of it
I,
first.
it's like that scene in SpongeBob when all of his internal SpongeBob brains are running around screaming while the brain is on fire.
Yes, that's me all the time. Oh,
Oh,
what is actually next
Jesus.
then?
So what is actually next is Undead Unluck.
You sure? Not Dr. Stone? It is on my
Uh,
list.
Dr. Stone was on mine, was it not?
Oh, right. Of course. Never
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah.
Right. On it on luck. Raw. What a surprise.
Yeah, shocking. That the
Yeah.
shit that's raw is even rawer. I'm really excited for this game. So I really love, this is completely unrelated, and I swear to God, I'm not being a JoJo reference kind of guy, but I really love the Jotaro Darby fight in part 3. I really like any confrontation where it's not just like, I'm going to throw hands with you. So I
Mhm.
really am looking forward to this like gambling match between Fuko, who literally is a luck manipulator, and the Uma. I think it's going to be really good.
Yeah. No, it's definitely a very cool setup. And I mean, yeah, of course, it is kind of a bit like, oh my God, JoJo reference. But no, yeah, like I think the Darby fight, the poker fight, is a great like blueprint from which on you can sort of judge other non-physical confrontations because that shit's so good.
It is one
And
of
I
the best
really,
fights in that part, easily.
yeah. And so I'm really hoping that this Uma fight can kind of live up to that as well. But more so than that, I think this chapter is just so good for Fuko.
Oh yeah, it's a great showcase of like how far she's come as a character. And she
Yeah.
even kind of shows it when she showed like, oh, I hid myself away from everyone and just stayed in my room. And then at the end of the chapter, she's asking the Union to put all of their lives in her hands so she'll win for them. So
Mhm.
good. We stand a queen for sure. We
Absolutely.
stand a developed queen.
She's so cool. I cannot believe that. I feel like I say this every week. I cannot believe how far this series has come as a
Yeah,
whole.
well, it just goes to show you how good it is every week. That
Yeah,
like
like
we're
really.
constantly amazed at how I thought for sure this was gonna just be garbage, and now it's incredible.
Yeah. I also like her outfit. It's very cool.
Yeah, the
Like,
cape and the open stomach because she needs her skin to use her ability.
yeah, it's like it's sort of exposed, but I really don't mind. I think it's
It
really
reminds
cool.
me of the same logic behind Momo's outfit, but like an actual outfit instead of like whatever single piece bikini that Momo wears.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Momo's
actual clothing.
yeah, Momo is one of those conversations that I just avoid having with my hero fans because I want to argue it, but I know there's very little good ways to do so.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I like that she dresses like a Quaker when she's not in her hero outfit, though. That I find really funny.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I don't think the way I mean this is a huge digression, but I don't think the way Momo dresses is by itself a problem personally. But I also am not gonna sit here and tell you you're stupid for having a problem with it, because yeah, no, that's fair. I don't
I
mind, but you
just
sure
chalk it
can.
up as like a gag that her hero outfit is like a stripper costume, and then when she's ever in like casual clothes, she's in skirts down to her ankles, and like the only skin that's uncovered is her hands and her face. It's really funny to me.
That's actually I had never thought of it that way.
She always fucking dresses that way, dude.
Oh my, I cannot believe the Zenrotto, number one My Hero hater, has taught me something about My Hero.
Dun dun. Canceling the show. We've hit
Does
the
that mean does
Shonen and
that mean
Chill
I
peak.
legally does that mean I have to legally give you my channel now?
I think so. Yeah, I think I'm entitled to at least like 75% of your channel earnings now.
Damn, I'm gonna miss those $7.
Oh yeah, that's gonna buy me lunch today.
Oh, bro, is this just your very roundabout way of asking me to buy you lunch?
That's it. We've made it.
You could you
This is
could just like
this is
you
my
could just
roundabout way to be like, hey, we should go out sometime.
yeah, but not just we should go out sometime. It's we should go out sometime, but you should pay.
But you should, yeah, well, yeah, because you're the one taking me out, man. That's how it works.
So you're the princess in this situation.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Correct.
Gotcha. My my girlfriend tuned into the live a little bit in the VOD, and she came up to me and she's like, "You have a husband now?" Like,
Yes.
babe, no.
I don't know what to
Nice.
tell her. Yes.
Yeah, yes. Like just that Chad meme, like just yes.
Yeah.
Uh, oh well. She took it like a champ. She was like, "Yeah, you may be married, but you guys have an ocean between you two. Whereas I live with you." And I'm like, that you got me
That's
there.
true. Yeah, that's true. Damn you, geography.
Uh, anyway, where were we before we started getting hormonal?
Foucault rules.
Yeah, Foucault rules. Absolutely. I also like Spring. He's cool.
Yeah, I like him too. He was like, yeah, I was just sad and everyone was real mean to me and now I'm a real dick because of it. And then they started to make friends and then he was like, I'm transforming. Run away from me. Never mind. Fight me.
Yeah, it's sort of cool because he feels sort of like one of these traditional, monsters of the week for like Saturday morning cartoons. He's like, these humans, they never knew how to appreciate me, and now I'm turning them into cherry blossom trees. Which is very simplistic, but it works. I think it's cool how this sort of very simple idea of a monster of an oni is taken so seriously by Foucault, who like really tries to talk some sense into him. It's really cool, and it makes Foucault seem so like compassionate and yeah, just very likable. Like she's just such a nice person. I really like her.
Yeah. Foucault is I like her more than Andy. I think Foucault's my favorite character.
You know what? Son of a bitch, yeah. That's actually a pretty good that's a pretty good realization. I think I like Shen quite a lot though as well, but he hasn't done anything in a while.
Yeah, I do like Shen, but yeah, he's been ever since his arc, he's been relegated to the background.
Yeah, but I mean, that's fine. Every character gets like their shine. It was the same with Top, with the Speed Boy. Like his chapters were fucking raw, and then he
Oh
disappeared
yeah,
again.
and now he's never coming back. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
like
done.
that's fine.
Yeah,
I'm
it is
okay
what it
with
is.
that. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, Undead Unluck was rawness and swag out of 10 again. Like I don't know
Always.
what to tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Undead Unluck is it's
always.
just consistent quality.
Hmm.
It's been a long time since I thought it was bad.
Yeah, I mean, I
Basically
I
ever since
think
that shit with the manga author ended.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like there were a couple of like pretty much every time Undead Unluck goes into exposition mode, it gets less good. But even then, it's like not bad.
Yeah, no, it's never like, and its exposition is usually like good, and we are kind
Hmm.
of dealing with like a pretty unique power system and unique concepts and stuff. So it's not
Yeah,
like I'm, gonna rail on it too bad. You know what I mean?
yeah, for
Um,
sure.
so it is what it is. I like it.
Yeah, me too.
Good
And
shit all the
that's good
time.
enough. Yeah, good shit all the time out of 10.
All right.
Uh,
Let's
are
see
we
here.
officially
We are
in big boy
officially in
territory?
big boy territory now. It's
All
gonna
right.
be Mashle up first.
I went into this chapter sort of not knowing what to expect because it's called Mashal and Childhood. And I was like, oh damn, like do we get like a tragic hashtag backstory for him? No, instead I got maybe the single best full chapter gag in the series.
Oh, it's by far the best full chapter gag in the series. Like, it's not even close.
It's so fucking stupid.
He's a 5-month-old carpenter. He's repairing all the damage.
I love his baby design.
Oh my god, it's so fucking funny. When his evil baby brother is like, I'm gonna kill him, and he starts crawl drifting around it.
Inertial, like I was like, is this an initial D reference or what?
Oh my god, it's so fucking funny. The panel of him having successfully dodged all the attacks and just crawling still is one of the funniest fucking things. Ah,
He's just a little guy.
this is so fucking funny.
It's just his little tuft of hair and his little hammer. So stupid. Like, I like how this is very much sort of, the twin brothers, which are destruction and creation, but in like the dumbest way
In literally
possible.
the stupidest way. And then they're like, everyone trembled in terror before this baby. And then on Mash's one, it's his DIY skills kept improving to the point that he could even build whole cabinets.
The midwife was certain that this child would grow to be a magic user of unimaginable power, and she was certain that this child would grow to be an excellent carpenter.
Oh my god, it's so fucking funny.
Also, the panel where it says that Mash disappeared. It's so stupid. It's just a baby. How did he disappear? What happened?
I like how it's him, like, with dramatic shadow on his stupid baby design. And he's holding wood and a hammer.
Like, what the fuck happened? Like, genuinely, this is so stupid. I don't think I've ever put a chapter into my top 3 on sheer stupidity alone.
It's just, it could have really easily been like an absolute bullshit flop gag, but it ended up being really good. I will say one complaint I had with this chapter was the action portion in the beginning was really hard to follow.
Yeah.
It was not exceptionally clean. Especially when, like, after the initial conflict where the dragon starts fighting him or whatever, and they like have the standoff on the rooftops, and he like blows up their Naruto clones. The next couple pages are like almost illegible to me in terms of how the fight is going, which is a bit of a problem. There's a lot of like spinny and like slashy effects on all the action that I feel like really confuse the paneling. It just makes it really muddled. But after that, we got into the best gag in manga history, so it's okay.
Yeah, like to me, it's like the fighting definitely was very messy, but to me, the fighting was clearly not the star of this chapter.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Oh my god,
it was obviously not the intent of the chapter to get through that. That was just like, we got to have the plot in here, so let's get it in here.
I find it so funny how they always say that the best way to get jacked is to just work in construction. And Mash, the most jacked guy, came out the womb working in construction. So stupid. I love it. This is actually peak fiction. Like all of that other dramatic stuff about like humanity and the will to live and whatever all these other series are peddling. Nah, this is what literature is actually about.
Oh my god. I'm so fucking... This is it. This is peak shit right here.
Yeah, this Shonen Jump.
Oh my god.
Shonen Jump has peaked. Like there's no need to continue. Just don't release any more issues. Oh my god, I just realized I'm gonna own this chapter physically.
Yes!
Oh,
the fucking panel of him drifting around the magical blasts is actually the best action panel in the chapter.
It is. Look at his fucking face during it too. I don't think we can actually contribute anything of value here. Though, like the final exam's starting, it's cool. They're in grief manner. Oh, how scary! But look at fucking baby carpenter Mash. That's what matters.
I'm gonna die.
He's using top tier driving techniques at just 5 months old. It's like, how is
crawling so fast it's equivalent to driving.
Seeing Mash dodge his attacks with inertial drift. What do you mean? Domina could immediately tell. What do you mean you can immediately tell? Oh my god. I think we need to move on for our health.
Yeah, if we don't stop, we'll just talk about this for the rest of the episode.
And we'll not say anything of value. We'll just keep saying, look at his
Look at his
head.
dumb baby face. Fuck.
Okay. Oh, all right. Serious big boy. Big boy analysis hours. Let's go.
All right,
What's
next up is Dr. Stone. This chapter fucking slapped. They're gonna build a goddamn satellite. It's gonna be sick. Also, I like the panels where they're all running away from the petrification beam, and then Senku and Ryusui stop. The panel where they're standing right on the edge of the beam is so fucking good. Oh my god, that's like the rawest panel of the week by far.
Let me pull it up again.
It is page 5.
Page 5. Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, that one's really cool.
So good. And then the page turn where it's like right in Senku's face, but it hasn't quite reached. It's so good.
The texturing on the blast is also really cool every time. Love it.
And then they revive Yo, but they don't take the time to glue his hair back on.
Yeah, I will say it's a bit odd to have like characters get like this dramatic cliffhanger, like destruction, and then next chapter, 5 pages in, they're already fine again. But you know, it's whatever. It's Dr. Stone.
Dr. Stone does that from time to time, where they're like, the big dramatic moment, that wasn't really the drama, it was setting up the drama, right? It was like, oh, someone just made like an assassination attempt. We foiled it, but now where the fuck did it come from, right? That's sort of where the crux of the drama is now. So now we've got to build this satellite to find out where Y-Man is on the moon, and we also have to wonder who the hell just tried to off everybody without any notice. And how, also. Because they're saying it could have been like pre-scheduled, but that we've never seen those things do that before. So not only do we not know if they can even do that, but if they can't do that, then we don't even know how.
Yeah, like it's I think we said it a couple of weeks ago. Dr. Stone is really good at just burying itself in additional mysteries. Even when you're at the point where there logically should not be any mystery left anywhere. And yet here we are, still asking questions, still confused as hell about things like these. So yeah, no, definitely a good chapter. I personally kind of found it more to be, you know, aside from the start, it was very much just a Dr. Stone building chapter, you know, where Senku says, we will build a hydroelectric plant out of dung and glue. Believe it. And I'm like, yeah, Senku, let's go.
That's exactly why I loved it. He's like, every single time that Senku starts talking and Gen says, you're not serious though, right? And then he's like, oh, fuck, yeah, I am. I'm like, yes! Hell yeah, like, that's what I'm here for.
Get excited. We're rebuilding the Large Hadron Collider out of cow intestines. Get excited. I'm like, yeah, Senku. I get excited every time.
Oh man, I can't wait. I also love the very last panel where everyone's like, huh? You're doing what? Except for Kaseki, who is his clothes are exploding off.
It's fun, yeah.
But yeah, I love Dr. Stone's the way it handles mystery. There's so many manga that like just can't do it right, you know, because it's hard to do. Mystery is not an easy thing to tell in a story. And Dr. Stone has been doing it for 214 chapters, and it's just absolutely peak the whole time. Because you know this is the last arc, you know. They obviously they talked about it not too long ago. It was literally on the page, beginning, final arc. But like, if Dr. Stone ends right now and this final arc is just as good, it will have no bad arcs to me, not a single one. Which is astonishing, because some of my favorite stuff still has some arcs where I'm like, this was kind of rough. So I'm thrilled that Doctor Stone is as good as it always is every week.
Yeah, no, definitely very strong offering this week once again. As I said, to me, more of sort of just a traditional Doctor Stone chapter, but I can definitely um, see how it appealed to you. I also just, people always talk about Boichi in terms of like, this really hyper realistic character art, but honestly, his texturing for most things is also so good. Like, look at the way the moon looks, or just the Earth, because those are not Photoshop pictures, because you could tell if they were. Um, they're definitely drawn at least partially, and that's so good. That takes so much skill. Or also like the petrification blast looks so
The
good.
petrification blast looks unbelievable, like every time. It's
Yeah,
so good.
it almost has like stars in them, like the universe. Like especially in the panel where on page 6 where Senku is staring right into it. It almost looks like you're looking into a night sky, which is definitely an interesting visual, given the context.
Good shit. Good shit. Doctor Stone's just always fucking. Uh, and of course, I have to bring it up just because I keep catching a glimpse of it every now and again, and for remembering that it's there. But Senku's new cape, man. Mm,
Yeah,
that's how
super
you
cool.
do character design. All right. Next up is gonna be Jujutsu Kaisen.
Which was, let's all say it together, rawness and swag.
It really was. This week was so fucking sick. I really like jokey action where it's like a legitimate fight, but also kind of not really.
Hmm.
That's like one of my favorite things. Uh, I also like how Yuji smashed this dude through the entire side of a fucking building, and he was
Hmm.
fine. But then he punches him once, and he's like dead. Yuji's fucking dope.
Yeah,
The
like
whole
it's.
gag of him like punching him and then being like, haha, I totally broke your wrists, and he's like slurring his words.
Hmm.
You're the loser. He's like dying, and then you just kicks him again. He's like, no, my hand's not broken.
Yeah, no, it's fun because like it is a serious fight. Like if Yuji messes up, he could actually end up badly hurt. But the character he's fighting is so fucking ridiculous. Like Mr. Propeller Hair, all right. It's a very cool vibe that Jujutsu Kaisen has with these sorts of things. Like a lot of sort of the early curse fights fall into that same category for me, where it's just kind of goofy looking action, but it's good action. Um, and I feel like that carries Jujutsu pretty far. Also, some very good character art as well on Yuji, especially. Like when he's preparing to punch him. That's like a top three Yuji pose right there. When he's like, "I'll smash him up."
Yeah, usually
Oh,
like ever since he's gotten his I don't know what you want to call it, his increased edginess,
mm-hmm.
he's been drawn really like cool. A lot
Yuji
less like
Black.
yeah, well, he's not that bad. But
Well, well, I mean, Deku, Edgy Deku is officially called Deku Black or
yeah,
Black
but
Deku.
edgy Deku is a lot edgier than edgy Yuji is.
I
Edgy Yuji
mean,
is the same guy, but sometimes he just doesn't smile as quite as often. Edgy Deku was
yeah,
like Satan.
yes, but also Edgy Deku has never said anything like, "I'm just a cog in the machine. No matter how many times you're reborn, I will kill you over and over for no other reason than that is my duty."
Well,
And then
yeah,
turned
but My
into a
Hero
wolf
Academia
metaphor.
is written for like babies. So
Oh, let's go. Let's go. Clip it. Clip it. Everyone. YouTube has a clipping function on mobile now. So you press the button with like the film reel on it, and then you share it on Twitter with the caption, Zenrotto, you doofus, what are you doing? Hashtag, hashtag Shonen and chill over, question mark. Please and thank
uh,
you.
oh my god.
This show wouldn't be nearly as good if we both liked the exact same series, the
Yeah,
same
I know.
amount.
If we had like exactly even love for everything.
Yeah. But okay, to get back to Jujutsu, I guess we should pop the big question immediately. Who do you think is lying out of the two folks?
That's tough because the guy is way sketchier to me in the way that he's acting. Because, like, when he introduces himself to Yuji, he's in, like, the whole of the building.
Yeah.
Which I feel like that's not, like, I didn't recognize exactly where they were, but are they on the ground floor? I don't think they are.
No, I don't
They're
think
like,
so.
oh, yeah, there he is right there. Yuji is up on, like, the second story at least. So the guy was able to get up through the hole. So he's got some kind of power, obviously, that he's hiding. And then, he makes a point like, Yuji's suspicious. And he makes up some kind of excuse. And Yuji just kind of buys it right off. Like, he doesn't ask any questions. He's just like, you know my silly nickname, so you must be from my hometown. Like, he doesn't go into it any more than that. The girl seems more genuine, but also sketchy. I don't know. They
she does
both
have the scorpion tail.
She does have the scorpion tail, and like the way that she's drawn in her last panel of the chapter is like, yeah, that's very evil looking. So I don't know.
I almost feel like that's misdirection because she has overall seemed more suspicious, like overtly, whereas the guy has sort of been more suspicious on the down low side.
Yeah, it seems like the guy is a lot more concerned about getting Yuji to trust and like him, where the girl isn't. The girl is just like, I don't want to die.
Yeah.
So it's tough. Jujutsu Kaisen, by the way, another series that does mystery really well.
And of course, there's the question of what's the whole thing about with the new guy at the end, the broker, I guess, because the receipts he has hanging and he has sort of lined up. Apparently, they're horse racing debts. Or like debt receipts, something like that. Okay. So I guess there's an underground gambling ring.
About who's gonna get through that's cool as fuck.
Yeah. Now someone in the comments is gonna have to tell me that because obviously I don't speak Japanese. But when he says, "When is that kid gonna bring me the next sucker?" That kid is obviously gender neutral.
I assume it's phrased that way in Japanese as well, because otherwise
yeah,
somebody on Twitter would have pointed out by now if it was gender tilted.
Yeah, I mean, technically that kid in English is slightly gender tilted. Like, it's slightly used more often for boys than it is for girls, linguistically.
Yeah, but that's just because in English, gender neutral pronouns tend to be tilted toward male side.
That is true. Like, there's a lot of sort of tilting, I guess, yeah, you can call it, to maleness in a lot of sort of neutral words. So that's definitely a facet there. But also this new guy seems cool. I like his tattoo, Indomitable. And I think I think one of the symbols might also mean justice or something like that. I remember reading something like that. So yeah, cool stuff.
Yeah, really good chapter. I am eager to see Megumi fight some more, because I feel like a lot of his fights up to this point, he's fought a lot, but I feel like he just has been kind of the guy getting smoked a lot of the time. So yeah. I'd like him to spend some more time in a real all-out fight of his own, like the way that he fought the Finger Bearer. Like that was a great Megumi fight. But it feels like other than that, he spends a lot of his time getting like smoked and rescued. So I'd like to see He is. He really is.
Yeah. He really is the Vegeta in more ways than one, isn't he?
Yeah, he really is. But I'd like to see him get some shine soon. Because like last week when he said that like I'm not Itadori, I will kill people if I have to. I'll get the points myself if that's what I have to do. I'm ready to see him kind of go off a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
It's been long overdue, in my opinion.
Also, on page 15, the bottom panel, that's maybe the prettiest Megumi we've ever gotten from Akutami. That's like the cleanest Megumi character art I've ever seen from him directly. It looks so fluffy and so squishy.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, very pretty.
Good-looking boy.
Good-looking boy. Yeah, but I agree. I definitely am ready to see him once again resort to almost killing himself in the name of victory. That shit's raw every time.
Yes, it is. It absolutely is. I don't really have too much more to say about the chapter, I think. Just that it was a fucking peak. Jujutsu Kaisen's just always hitting lately. And even when it's on like a slower week, because this week they didn't accomplish too much, other than Yuji beat the piss out of these two hilarious airplane people. But it's still like the setup of who is the bad guy or who's like the danger here between the girl and the guy. Because like the guy also weirds me out in that he doesn't have any like irises in his eyes. They're like snake eyes.
Yeah, you're right.
Everyone else is drawn with irises except for him. He just has black dots for eyes.
That's true. That's actually a very good point. I mean, actually, I think Yuji might also have that, no?
No, Yuji has irises.
Oh yeah, he does. I just landed on a panel where he doesn't.
Yeah, when
Yeah,
he's
that is
seen from
true.
like angles, he doesn't. But whenever he's looked like straight on, he's got irises in his eyes, and this guy does not. So
Yeah,
I
no,
don't know.
definitely
I don't
fun.
know. I'm stressed though. I need some good things to start happening to my boys. It's just been chaos for the past year and a half.
Yeah, I mean, it's been 1 year officially now since we last saw Nobara.
Ugh, my
And
soul.
yeah, for anyone who doesn't know it, by the way, Nobara's whole situation chapter came out the same week when she debuted in the anime. Because
Oh my God,
Gege
that's right. Because
is
he's
is
a monster,
yeah,
horrible monster person.
love you, Gege, though. But okay, do we want to move on in that case to the finale?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll jump right into My Hero Academia.
All right, Hori, we gotta talk. Uh, so why is it that the number one U.S. American hero helms an unauthorized military intervention in a foreign
Listen,
country
listen.
and then has an ability that literally allows her to set up rules that only benefit her? Hori, is there something you want to tell the class?
Listen.
Oh,
Listen.
I'm listening.
He's not wrong, okay? He's
No, I'm
not
not saying
inherently wrong.
I'm not saying he's wrong. I think it's so fucking funny that her quirk is basically just imperialism. It's just, yeah, I come over to you, I touch you, I claim your name, and then you have to do whatever the fuck I say you have to do.
Yeah.
Which, makes me root more for Shigaraki. Like,
By
yes,
the way,
king.
her quirk is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
Like,
that's actually maybe one of my favorite quirks so far. I love it so much. It's so cool.
by the standards of every other quirk in this universe, like what parents did you have that made this? Tokoyami is a bird head. All right? Like Tokoyami has a
Tail
bird
man.
face and you're doing
Tail man.
yeah, like Tailman has a tail. That's his whole quirk cuz he has like the pervert child Mineta, he just like I have grapes on my head that are really sticky. This bitch is like, yeah, if I touch anything, I can rewrite the fucking laws of the universe.
Yeah. Oh, but it almost, I saw someone say it almost feels like an ability out of Jujutsu or even JoJo.
It
And
does. It totally does
yeah,
feel like a stand ability.
yeah. Like,
Anything I
oh,
touch and say its name, I can create rules for is totally a stand ability.
yeah. And only two rules, and one of them I always keep to myself to give myself a permanent ability, which, by the way, is such a cool application. I love that. I love that she's just like, yeah, so I can make do with only one rule, so the other one will forever be resignated to me having super strength. That's
Yeah, to
super
me
cool.
being like almost as strong as All Might, because she's not quite there, but very
Yeah.
strong. I do think the ending was super cheesy and like, are you fucking kidding me? With like, oh no, my quirk doesn't work because you don't personally identify as Samura Shigaraki anymore. I was like,
Now
all right, that's getting a
I'm
little
gonna
much
need
for
you
me.
to listen this time. You're not wrong, but also no, but honestly, I didn't have a problem with that as much because I feel like, we're sitting here every week screaming, Shigaraki, please, for the love of God, don't let yourself be overtaken by All for One. Be your own man. To the point where I find this kind of a very, I don't know, not like super satisfying, but fun way of sort of playing around with that power. Because
I
yeah,
did like that after the speech about how like we're melding together, Shigaraki said he didn't want to, which I liked
yeah,
that. I like that we're
yeah.
not still like Uh-oh. I didn't want this to settle into the end game where All for One is just like, yes, my evil penis head. Like, I didn't want any of that. So Shigaraki still being like, I don't want that, it was good to see. I also like that he went Super Saiyan 3 for some reason.
Actually,
Pretty
there is a
cool.
good reason for that. You've never read Hori's first one shot, I assume.
No,
Uh,
I certainly have not.
yeah, it's called Tenko, and it's about a boy in a black cape with humongously long hair who decays things when he touches them, and his goal is to destroy all weapons on Earth. So yeah, we're pretty much rethreading that, I think, because
Okay.
Shigaraki has always seemed like a nod to it, because I mean his name is Tenko as well, and now with the long hair, he's pretty much gonna look exactly like the Tenko character.
Oh, that's cool.
Um,
I love
yeah,
Shigaraki's hair now that it's white. The way it's drawn is always so cool. It looks
yes,
like a void in
absolutely,
the page. It's so cool.
yeah, absolutely, it's so fucking good. Um, I just think Shigaraki for me has become such a highlight because every time he's on screen, something cool happens. Like some absolute fucking raw shit is about to go down every time he steps onto the stage. And or, something cool, something interesting happens with his identity and sort of his position in the story. Like I I've been vocally opposed to the idea that he, gets overtaken by All for One. But now if he's going to melt into him and sort of become a wholly new being, I'm not completely against that as long as there's enough of Shigaraki left and as long as like his backstory and
Yeah,
his
being some
character sort
sort of
of
new life form is better than just being all for one in Shigaraki's body, which is what I was worried he
yeah
was going to be.
yeah. I mean, Alpha One even says that that was the original plan, but Shigaraki is just built different, literally.
He's just too good.
Yeah. Uh, and you know what? I'm starting to become more okay with the idea of All for One not completely vanishing. Like if he just stays in, like if Vestige All for One just stays in Shigaraki's mind the same way the One for All vestiges stay in Deku's, I'm okay with that because he is kind of funny. Like he's just this goofy evil guy. He's like, yes, Tomura, we're melding into a terrible cancer being. Let's go. He's just celebrating everything bad that ever happens, even if it happens to him, which I just find kind of funny at this point. Um, so yeah, very very cool. I don't. You've never watched the movies. I keep asking you that, and I think the answer
No,
is yes,
I've
right?
watched the clips of them because everyone was screaming about how shitty they are. So I've watched the clips
Yeah,
everyone was screaming about.
yeah, because this chapter outwardly and directly canonizes the first one more so than it had already been. Because you know how Stars and Stripes talks about how All Might saves her and her small sister.
When he's interning in America or whatever.
Yeah, that's the opening scene of the first movie.
Oh, that's
That
cool.
girl, yeah, and that girl is the same girl. Um, which is pretty cool. Like I don't have a problem with the first movie getting canonized because that one's the one that is kind of inoffensive. If the second one gets canonized, I will actually cry and then go about my day because I'm an adult.
Speaking
I'll
of
just
canonizing movies, I just found out the Bleach movie that I really like is canon, so that's cool.
oh, very cool. Yeah, you had a
Yeah.
podcast with Rick and Tekken, right?
Yeah, I was on the opinionated cast.
Oh, welcome to the club.
Yeah, we talked about Bleach, Memories of Nobody, and the Diamond Dust Rebellion, and thank God the one that's canon is Memories of Nobody. I really like that movie, and it turns out
No,
they made it canon.
knowing nothing of what those movies are about, that shit sounds like Kingdom Hearts game titles.
Sort of. So Memories of Nobody is basically like a bunch of souls' memories get lost in between like dying and going to the afterlife. Like they get all
Mm-hmm.
screwed up, and
Mm-hmm.
so all of those memories converge into like a being that doesn't really exist. So she
Mm-hmm.
she thinks that she's alive, obviously, because she's like a person. Um, but she constantly like tries to remember her time being alive, and she keeps having conflicting like different memories. Like sometimes she'll remember, oh, me and my dad went to this place and we loved each other, and then she'll have a memory from someone else that's like her dad beating the crap out of her and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
finally you find out that she has only existed for like 2 days, and she's just
Oh.
like a conglomeration of memories of all of these souls that no longer have any identity because all of their
Mm-hmm.
memories and stuff are gone. And the whole fight is like her trying to figure out what it means to actually like exist or not, because everyone else except for Ichigo has kind of written her off as like she's not even a real thing. Let's just get rid of her.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just get her out of the way. And then
Mm-hmm.
Ichigo's stance is whether or not she was a real thing before 2 days ago. She's standing right here. She's clearly alive and is a thing, and you don't have any right to take that away from her more than anybody else does. And then there's a big fight at the end, and she eventually dies, and it's very sad. And because of the way that she works, and she's like some kind of memory monster or whatever, that when she dies, you forget about her. But the very last scene is Ichigo catching the hair ribbon that he bought for her out of like the wind, and a living girl that looks like her runs by, and he's like, "Aw," and he like remembers her and walks away on the bridge. And it was very sweet and wholesome. And they made that
Okay.
canon in the Thousand Year Blood War, which I did not realize.
Oh, very cool.
They mentioned the setting of the movie. They talk about it, and Ichigo's like, "I've been there before," and Yoruichi's like, "Yeah, you have." Anyway.
But hey, that's cool.
Yeah.
But that doesn't change my initial impression. This is a Kingdom Hearts plot.
A little bit of Kingdom Hearts plot, but it's a Kingdom Hearts plot in like a followable, actually introspective way, instead of a Kingdom Hearts plot where you're like, hang on. Like, which one of you came from the past? Which one of you came from the future? Which one of you is being possessed? What's happening?
Yeah, I had I have one friend who's really into Kingdom Hearts, and I had him try to explain to me what a Heartless is, and I left a broken man, knowing less than I did before.
Well, yeah. It pisses me off that Heartlesses are only hearts and nobodies are only bodies. Pisses me off.
That's so stupid, but I'm definitely binging Kingdom Hearts someday. I definitely want to get into it just so I can bitch about
I
it.
really, really liked it until Kingdom Hearts 3, and Kingdom Hearts 3 was so bad that I can't even play them anymore.
Oh, really?
It sucks so much.
Oh, damn.
The entirety of the plot of Kingdom Hearts is the first 3 chapters, or not chapters, the first, like, almost 80% of the story is Sora's like, I don't remember my powers. Oh, no. And they're like, well, you better go wander around until you get them back. And he just, like, fucks around. And he doesn't actually learn how to get his powers back. So he's like, okay, I guess we'll just fight the bad guys without me having my powers. And then some other character's like, actually, Sora, you've had your powers the whole time. They've been right here in your heart. And Sora's like, oh, great, I have my powers. And then the entire plot of the game is like the last 10% of the runtime of the game.
Wow, well...
It's fucking atrocious.
I mean, I would call that a Mickey Mouse plot line, but honestly, is that too on the nose?
Well, there is a scene that really looks like Mickey Mouse and Sora are about to kiss.
Oh.
It's really funny. It's in the DLC. Mickey's like dying, and he's like, oh, I'm dying. And then Sora like floats down, and he's like, Mickey, it's okay. And then Mickey's like, is it you? And he's like holding Mickey bridal style.
Yeah, maybe anime style storytelling doesn't quite work with beloved Disney characters.
It's so fucking funny. This shit's so bad. But Kingdom Hearts 2 is one of the best games ever made. So,
okay.
You know.
Okay, I mean, they're all on PC
Take that
now,
as you
so
will.
maybe I'll check them out. Yeah. My Hero. Right, that's what we're talking about. It was good. I also like that whenever she activates her quirk, the speech bubbles just have the stars and stripes in the background. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I also like when she makes the vacuum. It's
It's
a giant star. Yeah.
Yeah, in general, honestly, one thing that I like about this chapter specifically is that Hori is notoriously bad at using a power to its full extent. The main example being All for One versus All Might in Kamino, where we're like, oh yeah, All for One, this is the first time we're seeing him. He has a billion quirks. What does he do? He throws air, and that's it.
Yeah.
So I like that this fight is sort of more just more creative with it. Like Shigaraki does throw air again, but he does it with like radio waves and heavy load, and he like refracts lasers and shit. Like it's just very cool stuff. And also like Stars and Stripes, how she uses her quirk to catch the laser and to create a vacuum.
Catching that laser is some bullshit because I like how her quirk is so busted that if she says holdable, it must just make every single aspect of it able to be held. Because like a laser being grabbable would not make like the heat of it more tolerable. So her saying like the laser is holdable, the laser literally must have changed every aspect of itself that would not allow you to hold it.
Yeah, her quirk is. I am genuinely like thinking what the drawback of the quirk could be because at first I would say the drawback has to be that she has to. Well, first of all, the number because she can only use 2 rules at a time, and the other one has to be that she has to speak it out loud. Apparently.
Well, she also has to know your name.
Well, yeah, and she has to touch you,
Yeah.
which are actually quite a few conditions. But I mean, those are not crazy conditions.
Not for a power this busted. No.
Yeah, like
But I am curious how it's going to play out. I don't know. Horikoshi does not have a great track record of keeping his big women in good condition for very long. So,
that's true. I mean, the thing is, she could win the fight by just saying, um, setting a second permanent rule that states that the moment All for One activates upon me, my quirk vanishes. Because that's something she should be
so
able to do.
like, I wonder if she could literally just say my quirk isn't stealable.
I mean, she literally can rewrite physics.
Right, like she can rewrite fucking reality, basically. Like, what?
Also, dude, fucking like sitting on top of Shigaraki and then just saying, if you move at all, your heart will stop. That's so fucking cool.
It is very cool. But I also wonder, like, I guess she can't, because he doesn't even know who he is, right? Like, he has no understanding of what he technically is right now either. So I guess she can't, like, use her power on him anymore? Because his personal identity is so fucked up that she can't, like, directly affect him with it?
I think it's not that, and maybe also just the fact that Tomura Shigaraki as a entity is in of itself a construct, because that's just a name All for One gave him, and being he tried to mold him in. But I guess it is symbolic of the fact that he is at the end still Tenko. He's just a child trying to fulfill his dreams behind everything, which is kind of why Shigaraki is so childlike in a lot of ways. And I think it's sort of also playing into that direction, which, on the nose for sure, but I'm okay with it. Because that's the thing. This power is, objectively speaking, a bad thing to introduce into your story. There's just no way this is gonna not have some
Stars and Stripes can't
bullshit.
stay around for very long.
Yeah, but she also can't get defeated because if All for One gets this quirk, the story's over.
Yeah. Which I think your idea might be right on. I think she might like erase her own quirk somehow, or do something that prevents it from, or maybe like she gets. Well, actually, I don't even know the extent of how this power works because it's so busted on paper. Like, this has like almost the Giorno effect where you're like, oh well, this is how you could beat him, and then you're like, oh no, you can't, because like I was thinking, well, maybe she gets like brutally crippled by decay, but she gets away, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like she can't fight anymore, but she's still around. But then I was like, couldn't she just touch herself and make a rule that she has her fucking limbs back now?
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason she couldn't.
I saw someone say, dear God, don't let her get to All Might because she can just touch him and say, you have one for all again.
Right. Like, there must be some sort of drawback to this that we don't know about because there's no reason that she should, based on what we've seen, that she couldn't do that.
Yeah. And more importantly, I think we can surmise that there is definitely a limit because otherwise, why stop at giving yourself super strength? Just say, as long as I live, I am unbeatable.
Yeah, I mean,
and
she
also
did
immortal.
say also that she wasn't able to replicate the same amount of super strength that All Might used to have. Although, what if All Might dies because she lives through this and she gives him her super strength to go out for one last fight?
Oh. I mean, that could be cool,
like,
I guess.
What if that's how he ends up dying? Is he tries to... Because he's all like, I'm down on myself because I can't help and I'm fucking useless. What if she gets it out of here, but she for some reason... Or maybe they go together. Or maybe he plays to like, hey, don't you think I'm the shit? You should give me some power so we can go fight together. And he like runs out half-cocked with her power. That's not what he's used to having because she specifically said, I'm not as strong as All Might was. And he gets his ass toasted.
I will say though, I do like that she's not All Might's direct disciple.
Did I call that shit or not? What did I say? What did I say?
Yeah.
Ascended fangirl. What did I say?
I think you said My Hero sucks about 7 times, and I have it on record. So maybe don't invoke past episodes, my
All
guy.
I'm saying is I called that shit, okay?
Yeah, you did. No, I do believe you that you did. I just have to periodically remind you that I have the usual suspects on Quick Dial. You know who you are, people. I will say though, I will make myself clippable for a second here. Um, the fact that we have never heard of Stars and Stripes before this is complete bullshit.
Well,
Like
yeah, that's
complete
obvious
bullshit.
story writing. Like she just didn't exist, you know? Like, because
Yeah,
if she was a concept in the story by now, even with how like Japan hero centric this has been, the fact that no one would have mentioned her is ludicrous. Because this is the most powerful non one for all for one quirk in the entire series by a mile.
yeah. Like the power gap here is insane. Like she's the number one US hero. She can rewrite reality. The number one Japan hero can give you burns.
Yeah,
That's
he
it.
he can make fire good. Like
Yeah. The number two Japan hero is a bird.
that's his whole. Is he's very fast, Birdman. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just don't like. Even in the concept of like teaching them about quirks, there's no way they wouldn't have mentioned hers as such, like,
Yeah.
because it's such an obvious outlier that she's like, even All for One is like, this is the fucking gold standard, dude. We get this and it's over.
Yeah.
Like, so there's you're at right that there's absolutely no way had she existed as a story concept before this point, she would not have been mentioned at least one time.
Well, we can actually pinpoint the exact time she got created, or at least somewhat the latest time she got created, because I believe it is in chapter uh 300 and something, like right after the war. There is that one panel where they say we have requested help from international heroes, and there is a silhouette that is pretty much guaranteedly her. Um, but I don't remember which one it is, which chapter. If it's 300 flat or 299,
Let me go
I
back and take a
don't
look.
know. I don't remember. There is one definitely. And that must be just the earliest time when that was created. Maybe it was even later. I'm not sure.
Well, 300 is Endeavor in the hospital.
Yeah, you're right.
299
304.
does have some hero talk in it.
Oh no, I found it. I found it. It's a chapter. Oh God, what chapter is it? 303, page 6. There's a bunch of international heroes. You can even see Salam from Egypt in the silhouette, and the frontmost. That's the 8 tufts of hair. That's Stars and Stripe.
Is it Stripe or Stripes?
I don't care. I'm just gonna call her a star.
Oh yeah, that definitely is her.
Yeah. Which is funny because at first people were like, "Is that Whitebeard from One
It
Piece?"
does
I
look
remember.
like Whitebeard from One Piece. Ah, 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 ah. Nope, big woman.
Yeah. Also, can I say Hori needs to really decide what she looks like because I swear to God, her appearance changes every panel.
Yes, it does. And I don't. I mean, the panels where she's on top of Shigaraki, like telling him that his heart's gonna stop if he moves, is like way more feminine than she's ever looked in any other panel. And then
Hmm.
the panel where she's like, "Oh my God, it didn't work. Is that not him?" She just looks like All
Yeah.
Might,
Yeah.
exactly like All Might.
Yeah. I mean, just look at the difference between the panels when she's on top of him and
We gotta stop saying it that way.
no, I'm gonna keep saying it. The panel where her quirk gets introduced on page 6 in the bottom when she does the star. Like,
Oh yeah,
that's
that's
not
just
the
All
same
Might.
person.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
just All Might. Also, a lot of the time, the it seems like the length of her hair varies wildly. Because
Yeah.
sometimes her bangs are like down around her eyes, and sometimes they're like so fucking long they're longer than her whole face.
Hmm.
Like the one where she's
Also,
pulling away from him when she realized that her quirk didn't work, and she looks like
hmm.
she's either getting up or moving away. They're not that long. And then in the one where she's like she landed on him, and she's like talking to him about his heart stopping, It's so long that it looks like it would hang down to like under her neck. It's
Hmm.
crazy.
I will though say she has given me maybe one of my favorite like out of context My Hero panels, which is the one in the bottom left on page 1, where she says, "Do you even need to ask? We smash."
That's a good one. Also, that looks like nothing like her from the other.
She doesn't have a tooth gap. It's just one solid tooth in
Just a
her mouth,
solid one giant rabbit tooth.
one giant bone. Uh, I
Ugh.
also like how brutal she is by comparison. Like she really is characterizing America in a very interesting way.
Oh
She's
yeah,
like,
she's literally
"I'll
like,
make sure
oh,
you're."
I'll just put you in a vacuum.
Yeah, or she's like, "I'll make sure your remains make it back to your loved ones, to her comrades." Like, wow, okay,
Yeah, she's like,
this
yeah, you're
sure is a
gonna
mil.
die, but don't worry about it. I'll make sure you get buried properly.
Yeah.
Also, I like how one of the pilots' names is Wedge, the classic pilot Star Wars reference.
Mm-hmm. Well, of course, it's Horikoshi.
Mm-hmm. So I can assume one of them is Biggs.
Yeah, probably. No, but this was a fun chapter. I was worried we would not get to actually see this fight, or this would just be a curb stomp. But I do like that we actually got the Stratosphere jet fight
I
because it
also
is
like
raw
that
as hell.
they're literally jumping between jets. It's fucking dope. Also, you should probably not let Shigaraki lay flat on a solid surface. That's all I'm saying. You should probably
Yeah,
get him off that.
yeah. It's also like she's crazy uninformed for all things. Like she's like, "Oh yeah, are you all for one?"
It's
Oh
America,
no, you
bro.
should.
She's America. What do you want from
That's true.
She's accurately representing it.
Like, imagine she beats Shigaraki now, and then everyone's like, "Thank you, Stars and Stripe. If you ever come back, you'll be very welcome." She's like, "What do you mean come back? We're staying here." And like the rest of the U.S. Army starts approaching.
Start making another military base.
Yeah, and and they're like, "Heads up, kiddo, you're all Americans now." And then the series just shifts focus.
uh,
But I will say I do like Stars and Stripe has really risen in my like character ranking just off of this chapter alone. She's so cool. I really do like her. Um, I like that she's drawn differently. Like you can tell she's sort of more drawn in All Might style, and she literally, quite literally, does not play by the same rules as Japan. And I like that there is this very clear distinction. It really makes her feel very, yeah, very foreign. Um, and that's really, really cool to me. Uh, Also, the panel where Shigaraki and All for One are melding together, that shit's so gross. They, All for One is just a tumor on him.
yeah, the whole last sequence is like pretty visually nasty. In a
Yeah,
good way, in a good way, in like a Phantom Seer creepy way.
yeah.
Yeah, it's super gross. He's like and it almost looks like Shigaraki's like trying to pull him off, but he's got his arms like around his neck and he's like hanging onto him. And, it's
Mm,
gross. It's a great panel though. Although I
yeah.
really, really hate. This is just a me thing, and I know it doesn't bother most people. I really hate that his flashback panels are just like photocopies of previous panels, still square, stuck in a black panel. I hate that.
Oh, yeah.
Like in the previous panel right before the good one, where it's just
Hmm.
like a picture of the old panel in it
Hmm.
with otherwise a black background. I hate that.
Yeah, no, I mean, you must be suffering then, because My Hero doesn't do that at
I
all.
know
It's
he
like
does
its
it all the time,
go-to.
and they did it in Red Hood also, and I was like, you can't do that shit. In My Hero, it is more forgivable because My Hero is like long as fuck, right? So
Yeah,
you want to just throw that shit in from a long time ago, fine. It really pissed me off when Red Hood did it because it was like in the same chapter, which was
yeah, yeah.
egregious. But I still just wish that you would draw your flashbacks.
Yeah, to me, it's just like those panels piss me off now because I know that once the anime gets here, that one panel is gonna be like a 2 minute scene.
Right.
Because they can't just give us a quick image in the anime. They have to give us the full scene again. Um, which also, I can't wait to see this scene animated literally next season by the pace they're going. Uh, That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, sounds great.
Uh, oh man. Um, but yeah, I'm just sad that we have to wait 2 weeks to find out what happens next, since next week is a break. And as I said last week, I'm kind of worried for Horikoshi. His output has been not very consistent. Like this chapter is 15 pages, which he hasn't done since the joint training dilemma.
Well, last week also,
Yeah, exactly. Like
and the
this.
week before that.
Yeah, like his.
Oh my God, when's the last time he hasn't done 15 pages?
Oh
325
God,
was
yeah.
17. 326. It's been 15 pages since 326 to now. So the middle of September, about a solid month.
Yeah, and he's taken next week will be his second unplanned and unscheduled break that he will have taken. And of course, the usual things that I've mentioned before, that he gave in his volume covers without drafts, that he stopped doing volume sketches and episode sketches. Like I yeah, something's up. Maybe he's preparing for something big. Maybe this is his way of kind of recovering. Maybe there's something he needs to recover from. But either way, I really, really wish him the best and hope whatever it is, he gets through it healthy and well. And honestly, at this point, I wouldn't be mad if he took something like Akutami's 1 month hiatus or even more.
Yeah, I
Because
mean,
yeah,
you're 100% right that like this is not a great sign.
yeah. Um, but yeah, aside from that, is that it? Are we
Uh,
through with this week?
I think I am.
All right. Well, in that case, that was Shonen Chill.
That was Shonen and Chill. I'm gonna flash up our wonderful patrons. I'm not gonna read their names again because you all met them last time. Um, there are our wonderful friends who give us money to do this. Don't feel that you
Uh,
have to do that. Just it'll be in the description if you want to do that, but you're absolutely not obligated to do that. We are absolutely going to need to open this voting up to non-patrons, I'm pretty sure. Because
yeah.
yeah, we can't have a 5-way tie. So I think next we'll pick one for next week from this poll. If it stays a complete tie, maybe you and I will just decide who wins. We'll pull rank on them. But after that, the next poll we're going to open up to public vote. So only patrons can nominate, but everybody will be able to vote, just so we can get some more consistent votes in there. And art contest winners, remember to look out for your prizes coming soon. If you guys missed the art contest episode, it was last week, so make sure to check that out. It was pretty awesome. And we sell stickers on our little sticker store.
Yes, we do. All right. In that case, we'll see you all next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye bye.